It's the law of nature. You grow or you begin to die. And it's the same way with your environment. If you want to recruit great salespeople, then you have to first understand the 4 pillars of retention. And that ultimately comes down to what's important to the individuals you're recruiting. There's all kinds of different ways of vesting an individual and finding out about their background or about their attitude and how they handle situations. But ultimately, you need to start with the framework, what I call the 4 pillars of retention. And number 1, that's the environment. So what environment do you provide the potentially great salespeople that are going to come in and want to be a part of your team? So if the environment is toxic or the environment is diminishing, they're not going to want to be a part of the team, regardless of how much money they can make. If the environment is not a supportive environment where that they can advance step by step, little by little, with direction so that they can achieve what they want. Number 1 is you've got to have a great supportive environment. Not just one that pampers them, but one that challenges them. One that's exciting, but most importantly, supportive, not diminishing. Number 2, you've got to have great relationships with your people. As long as people have a great relationship with their coworkers and the environment is supportive and it's challenging, they're going to want to be a part of the organization. And a lot of times, some of the people who make the most sales are toxic and they diminish everybody else on your team. So you've got to be very careful with how the relationships are being handled and who is actually leading those people. Because as long as those individuals are empowering and willing to share and come from service, then you're on track to better retention. Number 3, they've got to have growth. If there's no growth within the organization, or people are just making more and more in commissions, but ultimately they don't feel they're growing, they're going to leave you. They're going to start looking for other ways because it's the law of nature. Tony Robbins says it. It's the law of nature. You grow or you begin to die. And it's the same way with your environment. It's the same way with the relationships. It's the same way within the levels of the development of your company. Can people grow? Are you constantly offering them ways for them to grow? Or do you have an organization where there's one guy at the top, what I call managers rather than leaders, that do not allow individuals to grow or teams to grow, and they just want to stay on top? That's number 1, is ultimately the environment. Number 2 is the relationships. Number 3 is growth. And finally, the most inspirational one and the biggest key to you not only attracting and keeping and growing leaders and keeping your great salespeople, finally, it's purpose. So when they can fulfill their purpose in life by developing other leaders, changing other people's lives, changing their own lives, and scaling their lives for their family so that they can accomplish what they want, and at the same time be rewarded so that the next generation can do it. That's how you not only attract and keep great talent, but that's how you scale a company. But without those 4 pillars of retention, you're going to be challenged and you're going to lose a lot of great people. For me, it took me almost 15 years to actually understand those 4 pillars and what I needed to do for an organization. The truth is, if I can do it, so can you. And I've watched hundreds of my top leaders and salespeople do the same. People becoming multimillionaires within our organization, what we call intrapreneurs. Not just entrepreneurs, but intrapreneurs, because we're a team at the end of the day. So if this makes sense to you and you know that this could help somebody in sales or a sales manager or a sales leader that, potentially could implement those 4 pillars, share this video, tag someone. I look forward to being able to add some more value to you and others so that they can live the life that they truly desire and deserve.